Hi, this is Greg Wayman, ASHI Certified Inspector and President of Foundation to Rooftop. I'm a professional home inspector here in Omaha, Nebraska, and specialize in residential and commercial property inspections. I've made a short educational video for you. Hope you enjoy it. Now and then I get to run across a commercial property where I have a lot of fun, and this commercial property did not disappoint. So what it was, this was a duplex in Omaha. It was built in 2013. It was 3 stories, and you had the basement level, which had some space, storage room in the back, and then a garage underneath it, and then the first floor, and then the second floor. And what you're looking at is the flat, low-pitched roof over top of the second floor that went over both duplexes. So the west half and the east half were each duplex. So what you're looking at is quite a serious issue that I don't know what the bids came back at, but I'm going to guess they were probably around $30,000 to $50,000 to have this corrected. And it was entertaining to me that the original architect design did not install anything on a 1-story roof access. You had to have a 2-story ladder to even get up here. Luckily I do, and this wasn't that much of an issue to get up on top. But once I was up there, it just kind of made me giggle at some of the things that I was seeing. And what you're looking at here is it's EPDM, rubber synthetic roof membrane, and EPDM stands for ethylene propylene diene monomer, and for anybody that cares. And what you're looking at here is an architect, oops, they neglected to put in any attic ventilation. So what you have going on is you can start seeing all of where the roof deck is sagging and water's pooling up, and this you can see more water along the edge just collecting there. This roof deck was OSB, so Orient Strand Board, chipboard. It's basically wood chips and glue compressed together in a factory and formed into usually 4x8 sheets. They were laid down over top of the rafters, and then the rigid foam insulation was installed, and then the rubber membrane installed over top of that. So what you have with the lack of attic ventilation, you have moisture building up from cooking, from showers, steam, having the humidifier running. Any of the moisture that a regular house produces has to go, usually goes up if it's not vented out right, and collects up at the ceiling, goes up into the attic, and in this case the rubber membrane doesn't allow it out, so it traps it and the moisture just sits there. And the OSB does not like moisture, so it molds up real easy, delaminates, and starts to sag. This next picture is probably the worst area, which was on the front, the highest point where all the moisture would collect. And you can easily see when I was walking across this where I had to step. I mean, basically I had to step where all the rafters were. So lots of areas here that are failing. The roof deck is just shot, and unfortunately the only way to fix this is to remove the rubber membrane, replace the roof decking. You're most likely going to have mold issues up in there, so you might have to replace some drywall on the inside. You might have to replace all the insulation. It just depends on how bad it got. But with it rotting out the roof deck like this, at least in this area, it was pretty severe. The other issue that I have is when you look at the way the rafters were installed, east to west, and the building slopes north to south, or south to north, downhill slightly, all the rafters run perpendicular to where the roof is draining. So I believe this was an engineered I-joist rafter system, and engineered I-joist, this is a picture from Home Depot off the internet, it's more OSB. So it's more wood chips and glue compressed together. That forms the center section, and then you have like a 1.5 by 3 board on the top and on the bottom, so top and bottom chords to give it rigidity. And they're designed, engineered product. They're designed to carry a certain load. So just picture it spanning across here, holding rain, holding snow. Any of that weight is going to bear down on it, and as the moisture starts to wear it out, though I have seen those engineered I-joists sag, and sag from moisture, not from a lot of weight. So, potentially down the road, if this is ignored too much longer, they could be looking at having to replace the rafter system as well as everything else that we just talked about. So this was one of those situations where you don't expect to find this on a building that was built in 2013. But my client definitely was very pleased that we found this ahead of time, so they could either, negotiate for having this repaired before they purchased it, or, maybe they decided to walk away and just find a different property. But either way, this commercial property inspection was money well spent for the client, or by the client. So some of the stuff we run into on an inspection, you don't expect to find, but this one was pretty entertaining from my standpoint. So hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.